Hey, what's up, guys? So I want to do another little recap. I like to do this every once in a while and start going back and looking at how the stock market was reacting in the past, how I traded it, and it's another good way of when things are going good in trading that I kind of like humble myself a little bit. And so I like to go back and look at how I reacted to the trades, how I could capitalize on it a little bit better, and is there any sort of pattern that I see with these bigger losses that I can make sure that I don't do, so I can keep riding this good win streak. And so the first thing I like to do, for those of you guys that have worked with me quite a bit, you know that I like to look for levels. So for me, the first ceiling level I'm going to draw in is 11. The next is the floor, which I'm going to obviously draw it. It's going to look a lot different, right? So there's another little level here. The first, ceiling that it finds, right at 7. The first or the second level floor, right? And it goes up here, kind of rejects there, but the first real rejection is right here, right at 10. And so for me, and then obviously like this, it's these lines are not like concrete or whatever. They're flexible, and for me, that's pretty damn close for a stock that went up from $3 up to $10. This thing within 20 cents. That's pretty close to being the ceiling is acting like a floor, right? It rips back up right before the open, 9 o'clock. It starts topping out here at 11, and then it goes down, and then it opens right here just under 10. Okay, well, in hindsight, how would I trade this now? And what do I think happened, and why do I think I screwed up on this trade? Well, the first thing is how I would react to this now is, okay, A plus, where I would go like balls in size, is this thing popped and fell $11. Like, I would hit this with my freaking car. But down here, so how I would look at this, and obviously it's a lot easier for for those like keyboard warriors out there, like gonna say shit because this is all hindsight, whatever. But anyways, I'm not even gonna get into that. But like, this has like a little mini floor, right? So how I'd look at this is like, okay, if this stuff's out here, like I would get in and I'd be risking just above that. Depending on how high above this it got, the closer up here, the less size I would use because I don't want to risk that much. But if I'm risking, 20 cents, I'd probably go in half size for 20 cents. Like how I personally do it is full size is like 5 to 10 cents. And I'm not trying to risk more than that. Like, this thing is up a lot, so I mean, like, really, it really would depend on like my week. If I was on a win streak, I might size into this. I might not, but what I can tell you is, I would absolutely have an entry on this thing, 100% in this square over here. Where I screwed up on this is my entry's way the hell down here. You talk about chasing. The move happened at $10, right? So when less experienced short sellers especially get into the trade, it's like, okay, well, like, this thing just slammed down. There's no way this is gonna it's gonna go back up. But like, the problem is, I have no idea how much size I was using, but I would imagine I was probably in with like, back in this time I was probably 600, 800 shares, something like that. This thing goes 30, 40 cents away against you. I was using way too much size. I didn't understand that you have to like have like a dollar risk on your trade. And I can tell you right now, I am going in with way too much size on this thing. I'm also chasing this thing from like $8. My first entry is at like $8.50. It's $1.50 under the level. Like, I'm super lucky that they didn't like hold this and then like just go into squeeze. I don't know what the rest of the chart looked like or whatever, but from what this looks like, shitty trade. I covered for a pretty decent sized loss. And I took another trade. I'm scared scared shitless because I have no idea what I don't have a system right now. I'm literally I'm just gambling. I don't even know what the hell the setup is. I don't understand anything like that. And first off, I can tell you right now, my gut is probably screaming at me not to get in this trade. And then it pissed me off when I instantly cover and then it stuffs. I chase this thing. I think it stuffs at least. It looks like it stuffs. I chase. I don't know how the hell I hit max loss on this thing, but because I just took a trade from $8.80. My first cover's down here at $7.60. I mean, that's a good chunk of money. But like the other thing is, I can already tell I didn't cover my first target, so I must be down a decent chunk of money on this one little loss right here, because I'm already breaking my rules. I'm supposed to cover at least half here, or at least how it is now. Back then, I might have covered like a fourth or whatever, but I should be covering something right here. I didn't. I let it come all the way back up to here, up to break even, which is, or damn near break even, without even covering anything, which is crazy to me. It fails, and then this is the worst part about it. So the move comes from above $10, like $10.50, and I'm taking a freaking trade down here at $7 and scalping this thing. That's not my style at all. I'm not a scalper. Then I take another scalp on weakness. This thing, looks like it's about to curl over. It doesn't. It catches itself and then it cuts me up. And, then it starts forming. It's got a low, a higher low, a higher low. I have no idea what this thing did later on, but I would not be surprised if this did like another, like maybe not 10, but like, because it's also trading, decent volume in here. And it's starting to add in more volume over here also. So, I mean, I could totally see this thing doing another pop. Going over high day, I don't know. But realistically, where I screwed up was missing the move. I don't do that anymore, because if I miss a move, then it's like, all right, I know I need to get off, because I'm about to get pissed off for sure. The next trade we're going to look at is TYME. So once again, the first thing I always do, floor, ceiling. This is like a mid-level floor. So once again, my golden rule is I don't short anywhere near floors. I don't give two shits about VWAP. I don't think, like, honestly, not at least not that I know of. I don't know of anybody that like really like they're gonna go in. And I can tell you right now, I'm 100%. So I am in 600 shares right here. I can tell you, I went full size on this thing right here. But for me, this is a horrible trade because it's finding support right here. It just opened. It's trading on millions of shares over here, and like what am I expecting to do? How I would trade this now is I would be risking over $4. So I'm taking a trade at $3.20, looking for a fade down to $2, risking $4. That's not a great trade. This thing goes up, finds a topping. I do like this topping right here. I could see myself taking a trade here, but then when it starts to curl right here on the VWAP, and the volume starts coming in, I can tell you right now, I am 100% out right here. Now, if I would take a trade over here, like for me, what I see right now is volume divergence, and I'm seeing it stuffing out at $5. Like, if I didn't get in at $5, I'm telling you right now, I'd be getting in right here on a lower high, And because for me, I would load the boat, 470 risking $5 on a stock that is up from $1.70. That's up a good chunk of money. I would totally be risking that. But for me, I'm shorting. I'm chasing. I'm shorting weakness. So these might not be the best examples because I'm not doing this kind of stuff like on like a curl like this. Like that's insane. Let's see the next one. PIRS, 1,200 shares, being stubborn, trading in pre-market. Honestly, I actually like this trade. I think that well, once again, getting ahead of myself. Sorry, I'm trying to make this not so long. Floor 160, first ceiling at 250s. Finds another floor here at 220s. Looking at a little floor right there that turns into support. Another one up there. So anyways, started pre-market. So this thing found topping, right? 250. It drops all the way down to 220, which is nice. It finds a little bounce up. Like for me, this is a beautiful trade. Maybe a little bit late. But I can't really zoom in that well. I think it's a good trade right there. What I don't like is I didn't have enough experience that I was panicking. I should have held because my risk should have been up over here, or at least the previous high in this. This isn't doing anything. It's also not trading on any volume really. So for me, I should have stayed in this thing. Started with the feeler in pre-market. I cut in the money when it was holding the 9 and 20 EMA. Okay. But anyways, so it goes down. It rips up. Goes to my zone. I take a short, which is on weakness because I need to be in the zone, not below the zone, especially where it's finding a double bottom right here. Then I cut a short even lower, chasing it. Then I'm scaling in front side because so I scale in again where it has a big run up right into my previous zone. I want to see it rejecting before I start trading. Then I add to a loser. So I'm in here. I add to a loser. I don't do that shit anymore. And then it runs me out. It goes straight through pre-market high. Doesn't stuff out or anything. So that makes this level invalid. Then it does find a topping up here at 260. I start shorting, which is against my rules now because it finds a level, unless this is a daily level or some level of significance, I'm not trading in here. I need to find like a $3 level. It looks like I scale in, I cover, and then I instantly short again, which is ridiculous because it just covered at my first target. If this is my first target, it has a potential of bouncing from here and finding support, which it did. It cut me off here. I luckily don't trade any of this crap. It comes up here, I take a short, but then I add to the short being greedy, and then I end up with a stop. I vaguely remember the stock actually, which is crazy because I see this down here and I'm just like, I got greedy as shit because I'm up here with it. This is also why I have a hard time adding to winners now because of this kind of stuff. But I need to also learn that if it bounced from here and comes back up close to my high, then that's a great recycle area. But you don't add on weakness. You never add on weakness because then now I just drop my entry down to here, and yeah, I don't know how I got a max loss on this thing unless yeah, I have no idea. I must have really dropped my average. I must have went in with much bigger size here. I'm not really sure, but anyways, you always want to have a very very clear, defined strategy, and stick to the damn plan. And so this, I can tell you right now that I'm not trading this stuff at all. This is crazy. Holy shit! Like so. Oh my god, dude. So I don't. I mean, I guess that's the floor. Like that's the problem with these stocks that have no volume. So first off, I was rushed at work and literally just got to my desk and saw KTRA popping. So which is hilarious to me because like what my idea of popping. This thing's up from like well nothing. It's not even up. I mean it went from $1.73 to $1.83. It went up 10 cents. It hasn't done anything at all. I'm just looking for a trade and like rushed, anxious, and FOMO. Yeah, like this is insane. On top of that, I can tell you right now, I was 100%. Both of these were with 1,200 shares. Like that's insane, dude, insane. My normal routine was all thrown off. Then I didn't scale in like I have been lately. I jumped in full size of both entries. The first one isn't horrible. Yes, it is. But my entry could have been better. Then second one, I shorted the stuff of $2. Once again, I shouldn't have went in full size. It wouldn't have been a big deal if I took 1/4 like I have been, but I didn't want to miss another good day to build my account. I didn't factor in the risk. Then the market humbled me in literally 5 minutes, minutes. I think my confidence was too high. So that right there, that's the golden nugget right there. My confidence was too high. I had to be reminded to chill out. That's like, it looks like I'll be running again after work. So that's actually, that spoke to me right there. And so for me, this is a big problem of me. But like, so before I get into that, this thing's not up at all, and you don't short something that is like up 10 cents. That's not up at all. Like, okay, so this thing, is trading between 150 and 170. Okay, cool. Well, up would be like if it's at like 270 or $3, which it looks like it's going towards there. If this curls and rips up, like I'd be very curious to see what. Actually, you know what? 1 second. So this is why I loved edge trade. So you start looking at this thing. So KTR, right? It's got 35 gaps. 8 of them closed green. 27 closed red. Right? I don't even know if this thing's even in existence anymore. It looks like it is. So, I mean, damn, it just gapped too, like a couple months ago. Anyways, like I was saying before, you don't trade something that's, up from, I don't think this is even right. So, it opens at 150. Okay, so the price is a little bit off, but like it really doesn't matter because so this thing shoots up to here, right? I was saying before, it's like that's a intraday gap. Okay, cool. If there's a day level, awesome. You trade it. If not, then what you look for. It's gonna be a little gold nugget for you guys. You look for in that zone. Gives you the best risk reward. It retraces a lot of its short. You short off the highs it has to at least be in this zone, round in here, risking off the highs. Look for a lower high entry. Voila, there you go. Fades. Doesn't hit the final target, but I mean, one hell of a fade. It goes all the way back down to where it is. That's how you trade this kind of stuff now, and that's the difference that I. So one thing I still have that I got from that is I get overconfident, which is a huge problem for me in not only my trading career, but my kickboxing career. When I was a high level kickboxer, I would go on a run. I started doing absolutely amazing, and then I couldn't tie my shoes. My coach would always bust my balls, and we could never figure it out. But I stopped doing the job. Which was one of the first things. I stopped running. I stopped eating good. I party a little bit too much, and then I get my ass kicked by somebody that, in my personal opinion, shouldn't have been in the ring with me, but he clearly should have because he beat me. And then it would make me reel things back in. Well, it's the same thing in the stock market. I start getting good. I stop doing the job, and then I get my ass kicked. I lose a bunch of money, and then it humbles me, and I get back to doing the thing. This is probably the longest streak that I have ever been on. Not even just in trading, but in life, really, where I am doing the job. And I'm being humble, which is something that I know this might sound horrible, but it's something that is very, very rare for me. I think that being a kid that never had a lot of attention and stuff, when you finally get good at something, you want everybody to notice. You want everybody to praise you, and it feels good. And so, for me to be in a good place now and be humble, I think it's also making me. I don't know. It's making me more present and more real, and I think that usually the only other time in my life that I can really think about this is right before I really leveled up my life, and I went to a completely different level that I've never been to before. I really feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I'm taking not only my trading but my entire life, friendships, family, everything to a whole different level, and I'm so unbelievably grateful for my life right now. And I think that when I go back and I see these things, I start seeing how I was trading. That kid's just. I say kid, that was 3 years ago, but it's I think I was a kid. I think that I really just grew up a lot in the last few years, and I think that I'm just searching. I'm trying to force things, and I think that I don't know. I think that I had to go through the things I had to go through to really find this happiness, and I think that now that I had a lot of success, I made a lot of money in trading, and then I pretty much lost almost all of it, and then now I'm getting back to where I'm doing good. Honestly, I'm doing better than I did before, but I'm not trying to be flashy or really all I want is time with my friends and family, because really at the end of the day you can't take any of this shit with you. So if I have a giant mansion or I'm driving around Lamborghinis and stuff, it's yeah, that's cool, man, but how much of your life are you giving up for those flashy things that you think that everybody cares about you? But when I spent 12 years being a kickboxing star, I thought that people are gonna people don't remember you at all, and I never get any of the people that I thought were fans or I don't know. At the end of the day, you kind of have to find things that they're for you, and I think that I found that with trading, because it's me versus me, and that's one thing I loved about kickboxing, was that it really at the end of the day it was me versus me, because it was when I showed up and I was confident and I didn't let myself get in my own way, I did amazing. And those lessons that I got from kickboxing have really paved the way for me to be where I am in trading. And I really feel like I shaved off like, I don't know, years off of my trading curve. But it's really funny because going back and doing this kind of stuff, I see people that I have 100 students that I'm working with, and you know when they send you stuff and it's like, hey, okay, well, like, what's your stats? Like, what have you been doing good? What have you been doing bad? What are the things you keep on doing? It's like nobody looks at this stuff. It's almost like that's the craziest thing about trading and the difference between trading and fighting. Well, I got very fortunate, and my coach is the best kickboxing coach in the country, and he really put a lot of time and effort into raising me up the correct way. And I feel like that's what I'm doing with my students right now, because there's so many people that just throw you out there. They don't even give you, like, they're just collecting a paycheck. Hey, dude, just give me your $150 a month, and there's a bunch of videos. Go watch it. And it's like, I get it, because that's kind of where I am right now. And it's like, but those guys need help. They need guidance, and they need all that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know. It's almost like the same thing as here. I go back and I start seeing these old charts. And it's like, man, dude, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I was making a shit ton of money. Like, those are my max losses. But like, I was making more money I've ever made in my entire life. And that's what my trading looked like. And I was just like, holy shit, dude. Like, that's insane to me. But that's the craziest thing, is like, you can get rewarded for doing stupid stuff. And I feel like a lot of traders end up going through that. And I don't know, like, a lot of people they're just there to take your money. Like, you ask them questions, they don't have any time, but like, they have time to take your $150 a month, but they won't answer your questions. Or they'll give you like, a 5 sentence. It's like, dude, I get it, you're busy, but I also, that $150 meant something to me back then. And so I feel like it's crazy how you can dive into like the most complicated, sophisticated sport in the world with zero experience and lose your life savings in a month. But I don't know, it's just crazy how the stock trading world works. And I'm just very glad that I learned the lessons I did from kickboxing. And the way that my coach would, I don't know, like, do things. It helped me see the bullshit in the trading world and kind of cut through. And then when I kind of connected the dots between, holy shit, this is a lot like kickboxing and my own mental state. And luckily, like, when I really got serious with trading, I was at the peak of my kickboxing. And so like, I already went through all the shit. And so like, I feel like I was able to just kind of absorb that into my trading, and that's why I found so much success at the very beginning. But for those of you guys that made it this far, if you're having a hard time, it's because you're not putting in the work. Are you doing this kind of stuff? Are you going back and reviewing, and like, are you diving deep on like, why are you screwing things up? Is it your system, or is it you? And how can you go about doing those improvements? And hopefully somebody stuck around. I'm going to rewatch this and try to like condense it down, because I have a problem of going on way too long. So anyways, I hope you guys found this useful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys want a free trading community, there's links going to be down in the description. And I will see you guys on the next video.